I don't know how you do it. Standing up on stage, work that audience. It's like, oh.
If you see the money, you'll do it. You're like, whoa!
Hey everyone, happy New Year's Eve. Welcome to the Lovin Show. We are live right now. I'm here with Amy because Shireen is still away. Welcome, Amy.
Hi!
And this week we are joined by Ali Al Saeed, co-founder of Dubai. Dubai.
You messed up my name. Do it again. No, don't do it. It's okay.
Ali Al Saeed.
Yeah, you got it.
What did I say the first time?
It's wrong the whole way. It's Ali Saeed. But I don't expect you to get it.
One more time, and then if I get it, if I don't get it, we'll cut it. Ali Al Saeed. No.
Sure.
Say it one more time.
So it's Ali Saeed. But,
You try.
Well, you're not going to be able to do it.
I can't speak
So forget
English,
it.
let alone anything like, no.
It's okay.
I apologize, but a hero on the local comedy scene.
Do you just want to take over? Do you want to announce
Yes,
yourself?
we are here with Casey
Hi guys.
and Amy
Hi.
and myself, Ali Saeed. Boom! Nailed my
Hey!
name. Got my name right.
And you work in comedy, I think?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Right. Accidentally.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
How?
I was not built for this. I wasn't designed to be a comedian. It was a shock to everyone, including myself, when I actually did it. And then I was like, hey, this is easy money.
I'm good at this.
Hey, I'm good at this. And then I just stuck to it.
What do you mean designed? As in, do you think your parents had a different path for you? Is that what you mean?
No, designed as in my personality was, I was very serious. I was very like I had
Not funny.
No, I was very ambitious, and I was never fun. So my ambition was in this career path that I built for myself, and I really wanted to get there. And I just didn't look around me. I wasn't fun around my friends. I wasn't the funny guy. Maybe at home, but when I was outside, I wasn't.
Yeah.
And then, so it was a shock. It took me a long time to convince people to come to my show. I'm like, no, I am doing comedy.
And how did you fall into it?
Okay, so this is what happened. I was trying to quit my job at this really great company, and I was gonna start setting up my thing, and they kept trying to convince me to stay. So my last sort of attempt at doing that was with the owner of the company, and I was like, I want to do this and that, and he was adamant.
This and that.
This is like, right, I want to start my own company,
Focus.
I want to whatever, and then he was telling me, but he was trying to warn me of the recession that was coming, because this was
Hey, that
2008.
small thing.
Right, he said, no, it's not the right time to start a business, and I'm like, no. And so I just subconsciously, I guess, I had it somewhere, because I had attended one of the Laugh Factory gigs, and I just maybe pictured myself on that stage at some point. So I just said, hey, I want to try comedy. I just blurted it out. And a few months later, they booked me for my first comedy gig at one of their gala dinners.
How did that go? I'm assuming well, considering, you're here.
Well, terrible. No, it didn't. So it
Was
was
that the first time you ever stood up in front of an audience?
right.
Wow.
And it was 800 dentists from all around the world.
Oh, a fantastic audience right there.
And I had 30 minutes, and this is like an outdoor gig, and you can hear the waves crashing. It was like one of those things where it was loud.
The elements were just against you.
Everything was, it's like a PlayStation version of comedy. And so I had to go in to meet my boss and like the head of the dental committee in the meeting rooms where I used to have meetings, and tell them my jokes, and they would okay them. They're like, okay, all right, we can have you on, because I didn't have a track record to show, hey, this is what I've done. They're like, okay, you have to come and audition. So I was auditioning to my former boss, but they were very cool about it. They're like, okay, we think this is funny. We want you to do it.
So they literally had to like veto or like, yes, that's funny. No, that's not.
Basically, all the dentist jokes were vetoed. Everything else was left in.
Maybe they've heard them all before.
No,
Or
they
just
were afraid
didn't
that
find it funny.
they were like, dentists are very sensitive. I'm like,
Like their teeth.
I was gonna say maybe it's the cavity, but it was.
Please tell me that was on the list.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
I had so many things. I think, but I was new, so there was a lot of cliche stuff as well. So like because I'd never been to a dentist until that point in my life, so I had no reference. Listen, we are
That's a
desperate.
whole other story.
I come from a different generation. Okay?
800 worried dentists be like, we just want to see his mouth.
Right?
Are your teeth good? There you go. So, like, I had to do that and to obviously kind of go out and just do it really, really, like, rogue, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you go up? Like, if it has your humor like changed from obviously when you started off? Like, how would you describe it now?
Look, there's two things that happen. You grow as a comedian, but you also grow as a person.
Yeah.
So you're constantly evolving and you're understanding life a lot more. I've always had Germany jokes because I have German cousins, right? But when I went to Germany, I'm like, wait, everything I'd ever thought about Germany is wrong, right? So this is part of the evolution where you go, maybe some of the stuff I was saying was probably offensive. So I started removing
stereotypes,
that.
kind of,
Right,
and then you
right.
change it. Okay.
So you remove these stereotypes. You say, okay, this is not offensive. This is actually fun. So you keep it, right? Even though it might not be 100% the truth. So you're constantly evolving. You're changing. You're moving.
Observational.
Right,
yeah.
right. So you grow as like I would never, like the very first joke I ever wrote for this show, I would never do that now.
So does that mean it's not PC?
No, I'm very PC, but the joke itself is it's immature.
Changes.
Right?
Take us back though. So comedy hasn't always been a part of your life. Can you remember the first time you found something very funny? Like the first time you just laughed out loud?
Ooh. You know what, we used to do this when we were in my like as kids, my family would hang out and we had like 2 TV channels or whatever. Actually, in the good old days, right? And in the summer, it was great because we would get like Armand TV because it was humid. So like, I was like, we got Armand. What do you have? Well, yeah. So we would just hang out and do impressions of each other. And that was one of the funniest things. Like you just get up and like, hey, I'm walking like mom, and then you do the whole mom thing, and then your mom is right behind you. You didn't know that she smacks you on the head, and that was always like just part of that. We just did impressions of each other, and voices, and that's always a part of what I am. In terms of stand up, the first thing I discovered stand up wise, I mean, I kind of knew it was there, but I wasn't really into it. I heard a joke by Chris Rock that turned my brain. I'm like, this is possible, because he took this, and Chris Rock does this thing where he milks the joke. So you're listening to this and he just keeps going and going and going. Like, one human person can do this to a topic, and that's what really changed my life.
Yeah.
Where I really started getting into comedy. Def Comedy Jam was a huge influence on me as well.
I find it incredible, especially when they milk it for all it's worth. Comedians milk it for all it's worth, and then they go on to another like joke, and then they come back again to another joke.
Right.
And it just
the callbacks.
I wouldn't have the memory.
That's why I always say this: writing an hour of stand-up is so much harder than writing a feature-length film, because you have so many characters that you can rely on, to make things happen. Well, with stand-up, the way you write it is you have an idea, and then you have to do it over and over and over again. I still have jokes that I'll do in like corporate events or whatever from like 10 years ago. And while I'm on stage, I'll figure out a different ending. And I'm like, wait, this is really good. And then you say it. Sometimes you forget. And then you're like, what did I do?
But like, what happens when that happens? Like, if you change your ending or if you forget your ending, how do you deal with that?
Forget is... When you have experience with stand-up, forgetting is whatever. You just start talking to someone in the audience, or you move on to another joke. So like for me, I don't have like an order. I always know what I'm going to close with, for example. Oh, this is a college crowd, so I'm going to close with this joke. So I always know where I'm going to end. But if I forget one joke or what's coming next, I'm like, whatever, I'll just go to another joke and I'll come back to something else later. Or if I'm really blank, this happened to me a couple weeks ago. I stepped on stage and I got this migraine. And I'm like, what is happening? And I was like limping. I had like this whole injury thing happening. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to talk to this guy and find out about his life while this is going to reboot. Yeah, and so I did that, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do this joke now because it fits with what this guy said. And then you just move on.
So there's quite a lot of improv in terms of changing it up.
Yeah, I personally love that. Crowd work is like my favorite thing to do because it's free jokes. I have this stuff written, right? It's like, hey, you're gonna give me free jokes.
But it's so like high pressure. And how do the audiences compare? So if you're talking to a Dubai audience compared to maybe audiences abroad, do you kind of change up your comedy a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's a lot of references that people will get here that they don't there. But what I don't change, like what doesn't change, is the story, right? So if I went to the grocery store and I broke something, and that's what's funny about the story. The story remains the same. So over time, you add a lot of local references. So I went there, and then there was this lady, and she was trying to sell me this thing that you all will know about. If I
Yeah.
go to New York, they're not going to know what this lady is or what she's trying to sell me. So a lot of times what comedians do is they'll ask someone, like the promoter or whatever, like, hey, what's a Carrefour in your city? You know, like what's a hypermarket?
So they get the reference.
So you just start replacing it. I saw there's a great comedian. His name was Judah Freelander, and my wife performed with him in New York for like 7 shows, and it was incredible how much he knew about that little part of New York.
Mm-hmm.
He knew, like, so he does this thing where it's specials on Netflix. It's called America's the Greatest Country in the United States or something like that.
Yeah, right.
And so he does this thing where he one-ups the audience. So when this guy says, what do you do? He says, I'm a doctor. And he said, oh, well, I bought this hospital. And he knew the local hospital. And you go, oh my God. And then he's like, oh, I bought this. And then he knew everything about that town, which was very, very impressive.
Wow, that's just knowledge.
That's
research.
That's
right
homework.
there.
That's homework. You gotta, you know what your shtick is, and you know where your laughs are gonna be.
But that's funny because people just laugh at the relevance. It doesn't even need to have a joke there.
Exactly. They're like, oh my God, he said, Burj Khalifa, and then you're like, yay. I was in Serbia.
We're so easy to please.
I was in Serbia, and there was this song playing in the store, and it was like Burj Khalifa, Burj Khalifa. I was so excited. I had no one to share my excitement with. I'm like, did you guys? Okay, never mind.
I went to Michael McIntyre and he mentioned brunch on a Friday, and the whole audience was like, yes, thank you very much, Michael.
That's a great joke, by the way.
It is just like the
Brunch.
the local nuances.
Local flair.
It's fun. So, have you ever experienced heckling?
Yeah. I welcome it.
Do you?
I love it.
So if somebody's there, like, get off the stage, or like starts giving you like,
So
I know, like-
I haven't experienced
that, yeah,
like hatred, but like you'll have some tough shows
yeah,
where you're like, okay, I gotta. So whatever your strategy is based on the audience, you start recruiting people on your side,
Yeah.
whatever. I've never had a boo get off the stage type situation, but people will say some really stupid stuff that they don't really. But in their minds, that's the
they
funniest
think it's
thing.
funny, yeah,
Right. And as a comedian, you're in control of the whole situation because the crowd is on your side.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
they're
want
here
to
see
share,
you.
yeah.
Right? It's like Jimmy Carr. Like people like pre-plan his heckles because they know how good his response is going to
yeah,
be.
a
He's a
clap
master.
back is
Right.
fantastic.
It's
Yeah,
unbelievable. So like people enjoy that, but also at the same time, everyone else is like, okay, you've had your 60 seconds. Now we paid to see this person, right? So as long as you know the audience is on your side, you're cool.
It's a good attitude to have.
Yeah. I mean, this heckler, they can say whatever they say is wrong.
true. I don't know how you do it. Stand me up on stage, work that audience, like, oh.
If you see the money, you'll do it too. You're like,
for your
whoa.
What makes you laugh?
What makes me laugh? Life.
Okay.
In general, like.
That's a really nice thing to say.
Oh, thank you.
That's
I didn't
so
really mean it in a
nice.
nice way, but okay.
I just
You're
laugh
like,
at
you're
it.
like people on the street, dogs, funny kids.
Absolutely, we did.
Kids that look funny.
I went a really nice, oh, what a lovely thing to say. No.
No, like people say dumb stuff all the time. And I'll be sitting, and sometimes I'm like, just like a table over, and you're sitting and you're suffering, not because you want to laugh so hard.
Oh,
This happened to me today.
I'm not going to lie, I love good people watch. Why, what happened today?
I don't remember, but it was so funny. The way I said it was, it prompted the what happened today. But this happened today. Like, I don't remember what happened, but I just remember laughing so hard.
So rather than being infuriated, you just laugh at the little things in life.
Yeah. So someone said this, like, time plus pain is equal to comedy.
Time plus pain equal to...
Right. So if it hurts today, if it's frustrating today,
Yeah.
you're going to be able to see the
Laugh
humor in it
about
later.
it, yeah.
Like, you can say, oh, the most common thing is, oh, I got in trouble in school and my mom did this. And, I got in so much trouble. And everyone there is laughing, including yourself. Because now it's a funny story in hindsight.
Yeah, that's really true, actually.
Yeah. And usually it's because you were dumb. in the situation, and that's why it's so funny. It's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, and that's what my mom was right.
I mean, your dumbness,
That's
basically.
Right,
The-
absolutely.
And we're
20
going to talk about confessions in a little bit. I feel like
Uh-oh.
there could be embarrassing ones, but actually when you look back at them, we laugh now. Then, not so funny now.
Absolutely. Like, if you
I mean,
look
there's
at,
been too many to count, to be honest.
like, we're lucky that there wasn't social media
Oh my,
like 15 years ago.
100%, 100%.
Right.
I don't think I would want to know all my like stupid indiscretions when I was a kid.
But does it help you as a comedian? Social media, it must do.
I'm horrible at it because I don't like the attention.
Uh-huh.
And everyone that's ever tried to convince me to do it is, oh, you have to create content. I'm like, yeah, that takes a long time, so I don't do it like weekly like everyone
Yeah.
else. They say, well, people just, they're interested in what your life is, and you're backstage and whatever. I'm like, it's the most boring thing ever.
Or you might think it's boring, but other people might not.
But it's principally, I don't think people should consume.
That stuff.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, like there's the private, like I will never post pictures of my kids until they're old enough to say I want my picture to be out there.
Yeah.
And people get mad at me for that.
I was just gonna say
They're like,
that's
how come
fair.
you're not,
Yeah.
how come you're not posting your kids' pictures? I'm like, well, if you're not in my life enough that you've met them or seen them or have pictures of them yourself,
Yeah.
then you're not.
It's so
Supposed
funny
to.
because I think that's so fair, but it's also kind of refreshing because I don't think anyone else lives by it. Like it's a lot of people do share kind of their intimate details online and put it public, which is kind of shocking.
Right, which they do it well, and I consume some of that too. There's some people that I like and I watch and you learn from them, but I'm just not that person. You're not going to learn much from me, and I'm not going to film myself eating a cupcake.
As a comedian, you can make it funny. I feel like we've gone way away.
We do, I'm doing this thing today for the New Year thing.
Funny.
The recap. Everyone's like, January, I was in Bali. February, I'm like, so I'm doing my own spoof on it today as well, because
I want to see that.
it's not, I don't know. Look, your life is great to you. Like in everyone's story, we're the main character.
Yeah.
We're the lead actor.
With Marilyn's.
Right? Exactly. Well, not me, but I do have the dress though. But when you push like a few meters away from you,
Yeah.
then you're not as important. And if we all can be okay with not being as important, then I think we'll be happier, because then we're not constantly saying, what am I going to show the world now? I don't have to.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially with like kind of social, it's a different story than actually your life for some people anyway.
Right.
So
Right. It's all put up, and I don't put up very well.
yeah.
Don't put that.
that
That sounded.
no, we're live.
That sounded very bad.
We want to talk about comedy heroes. We have this fun
Okay.
little game for you.
I kind of think I already know one of these because
Okay.
you've already mentioned him. Rank these comedy legends from best to worst.
Okay.
Or hang on, no, got this wrong. See.
My English number 1.
Okay.
So 3 comedy legends.
You can start. Thank you.
One will play you in a Lifetime movie.
Okay.
One you'll share a stage with.
Okay.
And the other you think.
Deserves to be heckled.
Okay.
Deserves to be heckled.
Yeah.
So you have to rank the 3.
Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Ricky Gervais.
Oh, Ricky Gervais heckled all day.
I love him.
All day.
I love Ricky Gervais
He's-
from The Office.
He is hilarious,
The
but
Good
he's so
Office.
full of himself though.
I mean, I don't know him personally. Maybe that's
No, but his
No, but
comedy.
his stand-up, yeah.
Yeah, that's
what
very
I
true.
don't like is when a comedian says my way is the only way, which Ricky Gervais does.
And especially online as well, his views are very he's very sure about his views. Yeah, his religious
Which
views.
that part of it I respect about him, because he's very forthcoming and honest about it.
Mhm.
What I don't respect is that he tries to shove that down on you.
Yeah.
I think he's reacting to that being shoved down his throat growing up. Probably that's probably his reaction.
Yeah.
But I feel like like Dave Chappelle, for example, he will drop an idea, an explosion will happen, and all these bloggers just go insane. And then after a while, you go, that was a brilliant statement. I just watched a video that said the 10 things that Dave Chappelle warned us about.
Oh, really?
And it's like from all his specials and like
Oh,
his
that's cool.
his sketches, and you're like, yeah, he did warn us about that. He's a thinker. So the second one deserves to be heckled.
That was easy for you.
Share a
Sorry,
stage
Ricky.
with or play you in a Lifetime movie.
Okay, so this is a very tough one for me, but share a stage with. I've worked with Dave Chappelle, by the way,
Ooh.
at the comedy festival here, in 2015, and he
Was it incredible?
so much. There were like a bunch of like popular Arab comedians from Saudi and everywhere, and they were legit crying.
Really?
This one guy wrote him a 7-page letter. It was like
Wow.
one of those things where, because to them, their generation, Dave Chappelle sparked it, and he was saying all the right things.
Yeah.
He was telling stories and everything. So I feel like I'll give him deserves to be heckled because of his possible response. And
Sorry, say that again.
so I'll give him
You-
deserves to be heckled
Oh,
because
okay.
of his
okay.
comeback is going to be legendary.
Okay.
Ah.
And Chris Rock is a very disciplined comedian, so he plans, and his whole thing, his whole shtick from day one was he will perform in a way that you're not going to be able to heckle him. So the walking, pacing back and forth, he got that from Eddie Murphy. That is, if you're moving around, you're not going to be, people are not going to heckle you. The second thing is his jokes are really tight. Like he rehearses them and he knows where everything is.
Mhm.
So he won't be heckled. So I'll say play me in a Lifetime movie.
Okay, so you're going to share a stage with Ricky Gervais.
Am I going to share a stage?
Well, yeah, because
No.
that's the one that's left.
Oh no.
Do you want to share a stage with Dave?
No, I'll
You said it
change.
right.
I'll say Ricky Gervais. I messed up.
Heckle?
Ricky Gervais heckled. Chris Rock. No, okay, so Chris Rock share a stage. Dave Chappelle play me in a movie.
Done.
Done.
Let's
Okay.
make it happen for 2020.
You wanted like a 10-second answer. I gave you like a 8-minute.
It's okay.
Before we move on to our confessions, tell
Yes.
us what is coming up for you in the next year.
Well, very exciting things. I'm gonna start my first tour of this kind. I'm gonna be touring around the Middle East, parts of Europe, South Africa, India, and all that.
Oh, wow.
And I'm gonna be filming something at some point. But that's happening soon. And we have a show on the 16th of January.
Okay.
That's happening at the Dubai World Trade Center. And there's going to be Mo Amir, who just did his Netflix special called Vagabond. Watch it. He's the funniest Arab out there. And he's got a bunch of stuff happening. He's also on a show called Rami that's on OSN, Weibo, all that. So he's going to be there. Nimr, who is the most successful comedian to come out of the Middle East. He's sold out more shows than any other comedian here
Wow.
in Dubai for sure. I've been working with him, I don't know, 7-8 years now. And every time we bring him here, he's always the fastest and the best-selling show. And he's done a Showtime special in the U.S. and all that, so he's great. He's going to be there. Then Badr Saleh from Saudi is going to be there, and then I'll be hosting. So this is happening January 16th.
Very cool. Dubai World Trade
World
Center.
Center. And tickets on Dubai Calendar app.
You see, you got it
I got it in
out.
there.
You did it.
Plug in.
January
Plug it.
16th,
Love
guys.
it.
Okay, we're going to move on to our show. Why don't you explain while I get the little things we prepared earlier?
Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm not very good at explaining things, as you have all realised. So we are playing
True confessions.
True
Guess the lie.
Confessions. Guess the lie
truth.
or guess the truth.
Okay.
So we have two options. We've all prepared these earlier. Thank you. Two options. Boom. Now we get to choose one or two, each of you. Read
Okay.
it out. And then we have to ask you questions and work out, is it a truth or is it a lie?
So one is a truth, one is a lie. We do not know.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's start with Amy.
No, I kind of want you to go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I think I know hers too. Like, as in, I
Oh.
don't know if they're truth or lie, but
Okay, so should I pick number 1 or 2?
2.
two.
Sorry, I decided for the both of us.
That's okay.
Was I supposed not to do
No,
that?
you do that.
Oh.
I think this is going to be a really awkward one.
I once drank lice shampoo,
As in head lice.
head lice shampoo, and you have 3 questions to figure out if that is true or not. I once drank shampoo made for the head lice in your hair.
It's 3 questions each or 3 questions total?
Total.
Oh.
When was this?
How old were you? Yeah.
I was 6 years old.
Like, why?
That's not a good question.
I know, but like,
It was yellow in colour, and I thought, wonder what that tastes like.
if think this is true. Like, honestly, that's really messed up. Did it taste? Oh, sorry, no.
Did you drink enough that you had to end up in a hospital or something?
Correct, I did.
Did
Drink enough
you?
that I had to end up in hospital.
That's our 3 questions, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask?
No.
Why?
Now you can. You had 3 questions.
Okay.
Is it a truth or is it a lie, guys? What do you think? Did I drink less shampoo?
I think you did.
I kind of feel like it's so truthful that it could be a lie, though. Do we have to agree?
Yeah, you have to agree.
Oh.
Oh. That's not
Do you wanna
No,
funny.
you don't have to agree. Yeah, because you're in competition.
Yeah, we're
So you think I
competition.
did, and you?
I think it's a lie.
I think you did it. I think you were a brunette originally, and the yellow hair came from drinking.
This is
Au
expensive
natural.
balayage. Thank you very much. I did in fact drink.
Yes!
less.
Did you?
And I was taken to hospital and then my stomach pumped because I drank it. I was
How
left
much
it
did you drink?
a lot. And it
Did it
smells-
taste good?
It's the. Do you remember it smelled really, really bad when we were kids growing up? If you.
So why did
Not
you
that
drink?
it's just there in the bathroom and I got left alone. Moving on. We don't have to explain the story. We never said.
You were 6. It's okay.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you're nice. I'm not so nice. Okay, do you want
Okay,
to-
let's finish with that.
Okay.
Amy.
1 or 2.
Amy 1.
I'm intrigued. I don't think mine are going to be that funny.
I sealed my envelope. You guys cheated. Never mind.
Okay. I used to be a British dry ski slope champ.
Would you like to kick off the questions?
Only 3 people. Only 3.
What year?
I don't know. I was young. Back in the day. Like 15. No.
Yeah, you're off to a very good start.
15 years
You
ago.
you have all your facts together. For a champ, you know.
She really goes, I don't know.
I have no idea. I didn't think you would ask me that.
Okay, so
I was a champ. What year? You know, when champs were champs.
Yeah.
Where did you train as a British ski slope champion?
Like, bearing in mind, it's dry ski slopes in England. It's not exactly very highbrow or very good. Does not mean I'm a very good skier. Just meant that I did it.
Answer
you
the
where did you-
question.
Oh.
Deflector.
You're very defensive about your skiing. So where did you train?
I don't know, like somewhere near like Liverpool.
Okay, you don't have the name of it.
No, I was very young. I got driven by my mum.
Okay.
Where in the UK are you from?
She was very young.
Chester.
You're from Chester.
Yeah, Cheshire. I'm in the Cheshire
Which
area.
is near Manchester.
Which
It's
is
near
not
Liverpool.
no, it's near Liverpool. It's all
It's
you know.
near Chester and Manchester. Like
And she was too.
it
You
may
know, when
be-
she was a champion.
It was maybe in like the Wirral.
Don't expect her to remember as a toddler. Winning medals.
Is that the last one?
Okay, so Detective Ali, what do you reckon for this one?
For the absurdity, I want to say it's true, but I don't think you were.
Unless she was hit by her head.
Unless she
Unless
was
I was
lying
hit
in
by
the
my
questions. Unless
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I'm gonna tell the truth, but when they ask me questions, I'm gonna deceive them and lie.
I'm not that clever.
Okay.
I'm putting that out
I'm gonna go with no.
Yeah, me too.
there. You're both wrong. It's true. Yeah, it was actually genuinely.
How old were you though?
I was like 12. Like it was.
That was
I
like 5 years ago. You could have remembered everything.
Thanks.
You misled us in the questions.
No, it was like I was like, yeah, I was about 12. I
did not see that. You were just like,
yeah, no, it was slalom, and it was it was dry ski slope. It was England. There was nothing better to do on a cold, windy day. I don't know. Yeah, it was really rogue. I did it for like 2 years and then stopped.
okay, more on that.
Yeah.
Tune in next week.
I'm gonna deceive you in the questions too.
No, we get to choose.
Oh, yeah.
This is true. Okay.
Wait,
Oh,
Do you
we don't know.
you know. Okay.
they're numbered.
That
I don't know why
one.
that would work.
2.
That
Oh,
one.
this one.
That
Whatever
one.
it is.
I love how you
One.
sealed it.
I know. I thought we were gonna take this seriously
Sorry. Yeah, no.
and then
It's
not lie in the
it's-
questions.
It's
Like you know,
sloppy
Yeah,
over
not
here.
be so vague. This
it's like I don't know. I was really young. You were 12.
That's young.
She knew after.
Like suddenly she's like, no, yeah.
12. Here's the medal I carry.
Got them back in. Okay.
Okay, this is something people are surprised to know about me. I have a PhD in psychology. You can read it if you want. It says that.
I believe you.
So you're not deceiving us just yet.
Which university did you study at?
I went to a school in the U.S.
That's not answering what school it was. That's just saying
Okay.
the US.
Okay.
See, because I'm fair, unlike, you know. I'm going to say it was at Howard in New York.
Howard. Have you heard of that?
Howard University, yeah.
Sounds like a name.
Howard University, no, that's actually a very popular school. Now you're making me feel bad.
We try and rip apart the questions.
Okay, and just rip apart your life if this is actually true.
Go for it.
Okay. All I want to ask is like why you study psychology, but that's a lame one. What type of psychology did you study?
Humor.
No, but
Wow.
no, because it's either like, isn't it clinical,
Behavioral.
like?
What are you saying, masters?
Oh, did you say masters?
And I said PhD.
PhD. Oh, yes.
So my dissertation is not going to be about.
What did you do before your PhD? What did you
Your
study?
final question. Are you?
Oh,
That's not a great
Sugar.
question.
Are you sure? I'm giving you chances.
No.
Are you sure? No,
Yeah.
we'll move on to our final question. How many years did it take you to complete your PhD?
Because
Aren't all PhDs the same? No.
They're supposed to be, but I'm.
Did you
lazy.
take a little bit longer?
Yes. I had a hard time putting it together. So it took me 2.5 years.
Okay.
So it was a bit longer than it should have been.
I thought PhDs took longer. Okay.
No.
I'm going to
No, they're quite short.
Okay.
What are you going to say?
High school was the longest of everything. And then you have like 3 years university.
You're like Joey from
And then
Friends. It
2.
takes a good, like,
Yeah.
15 years.
I'm going to say yes because I love the idea of someone studying humor psychology. That's amazing. If it's true, it's amazing.
I kind of think it is true because of how you set it up. Like, people are surprised. So I kind of want to say that, but then I'm now like, yeah, and now I'm like,
It's the glasses. I can do eye contact if you want.
oh, it's creepy, yeah. But then I'm a bit like, oh, do I just say no because I'm not agreeing with you?
It's a tricky one.
I'm gonna go for it. I think you look smart.
Okay.
Maybe do I?
That's always refreshing. I can do this for you. I can read out my other facts.
No.
Did she actually just go, do I?
Yeah.
She's like, I know you look smart. This is an offer. I can read you my other fact, and then you
Yes.
can decide
Okay, do it.
based on the 2.
Oh, that's fun.
This has never been.
Oh,
done
have you
before.
done 2 truths, 1 lie?
No.
No, sorry. Have
No.
you done 1 lie, 1 truth?
One of each.
One lie. That's what we were meant to do.
Oh,
Up
okay,
the
I
ante.
didn't do
I
that.
will give you also the opportunity. No, your answer's locked. I'm making
Okay,
up
so
the rules.
yours is what? You believe it.
So you
She
took
believes
over
it.
the
Okay,
show, that's
my
fine.
other fact is I used to be a break dancer, and at some point I went professional. So I was a break dancer.
You get no questions. You have to just decide.
I kind of feel like the breakdancer thing is more ridiculous, so I think it's true. And then I think that this could be real, which is why I think it's false. Maybe you did get a PhD, but not in psychology. That's where I'm at.
See, I don't like to trick people.
Nice little sly dig there, isn't it?
You have.
The choices. Okay, I'm sorry I'm taking so long. Okay, I'm going against Casey. I think that's false, and I think breakdancing because I just want to see that. And you're going to have to prove it afterwards.
Absolutely.
No,
Okay.
I'm wearing a dress.
So
Okay, which
can
one
you
is
tell
it?
So which one is it?
Am I right?
You're right.
Ah!
I dropped out of high school.
Okay, we're gonna
Did
have
you?
another
See?
show of breakdancing.
No, I'm not. This was
Hey,
when I was very
you
young.
were a Okay, so how young were you?
Well, I was. Well, I don't know. It's when I dropped out of school. I was doing this.
Very good.
Made my parents.
We obviously,
do you know, I
we
bet
obviously
you
didn't
did.
ask enough questions on the show because that's a whole other story.
Yeah, I feel like we could be here for quite a long time.
This is a story I don't like to talk about.
Can I just ask, because I think I know what Casey's first one. Can you read your next one out, please? Just to just say it.
We're gonna end the show
On this one.
With your lie. Hey, we need
We
yours
need
too.
yours.
No, mine's really rubbish.
Well, how about
No,
we
no, no,
mix
no,
them
no.
up and
Mine's
one
not.
has to read-
Yeah, she'll read yours.
No, it's because she doesn't want to read hers. That's why she's making
I'll
me
read
read
both
it.
of y'all.
There you go.
Okay, I'll read Casey's. This is Casey's. This is not mine.
And why are you reading it?
And we end here. I once peed. I can't even say it. I once peed myself in the office. That's what she said.
That's true. That's true, Casey. Come on. Everyone's done it. I did it today.
I once performed at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. These are our truths and our lies. Thank you very much for joining us on our show and for nearly co-hosting it with us.
I mean, to be fair, for actually co-hosting it with us, like, you saw us through. Thank you.
You saw us through it. We went through it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Guys, January 26th, watch the show, get tickets, and we are back here in the new year 2020.
Or January 16th, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to be more accurate. Because if you go there on January 26th,
He won't be there.
nothing's going to happen. Because I might be there because I'm nice. But no
Because
one
you feel
else
sorry
will.
for Casey for all the people
I'm
that are
going
going
to
to
tell
rock
jokes
up.
to Casey.
You are now tied to 2 dates.
Yay! Sponsored by Lovin Dubai.
There you go.
You got it.
Bye.
Guys, Happy New Year. Bye.